Ma'am? Kiki, you're gonna fall. What are you doing? Okay, I shimmied her over a bit. You little goober. Hey guys, it is Friday, and I got an email this morning saying my notepads were done and that I could pay the remaining balance and go pick them up. So I went to just pick them up now. I wasn't sure if I could fit it all in my car, but I did. I was looking at video footage of like a previous shipment just to kind of get an idea. It's not coming from the same place, but my first planner pad order I did, there were 2,000 total, and this is also 2,000 items. But the planner pads are bigger, but a notepad is smaller than a planner pad. So I'm like, it probably is like about the same amount of stuff. But I was like, I'm looking at the footage like, do I think I could fit this all in my car? And I did. I didn't even have to stack anything into the passenger seat. Oh, wow. And there's even down there on both sides, got a box. Holy moly. I also have this all sitting here. Yep, a bunch of boxes, some flat mailers. Have I overdone it once again? There's just such like a jump in price between like 1,000 and 500. It's like, well, I guess like a non-jump. 500 per item is a lot more than 1,000 per item. So might as well get more even if they don't all sell or if they just take a long time to sell. But that has backfired in the past. This one says small, so I'm assuming that's the notepad. Some say small, some say large. Duckies! Cute. Oh. Okay. We lost a page already. So pastel. This one's cut a little crooked. Compared to like this one. This one's nice. Oh wait, am I even recording? Yeah. This one's nice and centered. This one's a little crooked. I mean, there is a certain allowable margin of error. The question is, how much will I allow for like will I do B grades? I don't know. The Baylee J is like almost not legible. The lines are a bit light too, but I prefer lines a little on the lighter side personally. So like I've had some print quite dark in the past, so I purposely tried to make it lighter. Ducky. So this is not the same manufacturer as the Winter Buns notepads. Those are like very nice and premium, but almost like too nice for a notepad. I feel guilty every time I use a sheet. They're also insanely expensive. So these will cost less than the Winter Bun ones because they cost me a lot less. So yes, just like a standard 50-page notepad with like regular paper. Cool. Cute. Large. Bubbles. So yes, a planner pad that's like, it's kind of between 8x10 and 8.5x11. I forget exactly what it is. This way we have a little bit more horizontal writing room. I love my square planner pads, but you know, sometimes I feel like I just don't have enough horizontal space. So I thought I would try some bigger ones. And that meant having to get bigger box sizes. So it's complicating things a little bit because I would try to purposely make stuff a certain size to fit into the boxes I use. And so now I'm like adding 3 new box sizes to my setup, which is getting to be a lot, but yeah. Ah, careful. I had Christian bring down all the notepad boxes, so they're down here ready to be quality checked. A couple more over there. I'm not dealing with that because I'm in the mood to do some art today. I first need to clear some space. I made a huge mess yesterday. I took some clips of what I got up to for a chunk of the day. I mounted my ceiling camera mount, the same one I had mounted at the old place, although I had it mounted to the wall close to the ceiling. I've been considering ceiling mounting it here, and after trying various filming setups since moving, I've officially mounted it. So first I had to figure out how I was going to mount this thing because I had it mounted vertically at the old place so it can swing forward and back but not side to side. But since my table's so wide, I thought it might be better if it can swing side to side but not front to back. I mean, technically it can swivel front to back from the very top hinge. But I was like, okay, let's mount it sideways. But the joists are running front to back, so they'd be running perpendicular to the way I want to mount it. And so I located the joist too, and there wasn't one in a spot I wanted. It was too far to the side. And so I was like, what if I just use the wood I bought to bridge the gap between two joists? I'm doing it the same way I did at my old place, where I'm mounting it to a piece of wood and the wood is being mounted to the wall, or I guess in this case, the ceiling. So I cut a couple pieces of wood and painted them pink because I wanted this to look cute and make sense to paint it before I mount it. So painted them pink, drilled some pilot holes. I drilled pilot holes for mounting it to the ceiling, but also for mounting the actual boom to the wood. And it was so hard to figure out the exact positioning of where I wanted this thing. I'm trying to like estimate it because I wanted to drill the pilot holes before I put the wood on the ceiling. But as a result, it's a little too far to the side. So here is how it looks in the end. I probably should have mounted it a little further to the left, but I kind of compensated by just pushing my table over a bit because it used to be pushed over further. And I was like, well, let's just start with that because it wouldn't be too hard to just, you know, drill some new holes and move it over. But also this thing swings side to side. So I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I technically can position it wherever I want, side to side. Also, when I was figuring out how far back to put it, I accidentally made it a little too far into the room, like a little too close to the edge of the table, because I want it close to the edge. This is where I would put artwork. This is where I'd work on it. I want it centered over this section of the table, but I forgot that this creates an L, and so the camera doesn't just hang down here. The camera is out here and then goes down, so it actually is fine. Again, I just pushed the table a little bit because I had it pulled out a little far, and so that worked out. It's in a good spot. And I've got my ring light because lighting's been a big issue since I moved. I did buy some lights that I was maybe going to mount up there, but now I'm unsure. I think I'm going to try doing just the ring light combined with this light, which I took off its tripod and put back up here. I had it there at one point. It doesn't look the best. It could eventually be wall mounted or ceiling mounted, but I just put it there for now. Because the ceiling light gives us some light from this side when it's nighttime, and so this helps add some extra light. So there it is. It kind of looks ugly mounted sideways. You see like the little triangle here and whatnot. It would have looked cuter mounted this way, but then we can only swivel front to back. For the most part, it'll probably hang exactly where it is now. Also, I ordered some longer HDMI cables to feed the camera feed to my computer, because right now they do reach, but they have to just go kind of straight across. And so I got some longer ones so that I can feed them along the wall and have the cables hidden and everything look nice. And I still have a ton of cable management to do with all the filming stuff. Like, look at this mess. So I'll eventually have it looking all nice, but at least for now, I'm happy having the mount up. Because it's just such a pain in the butt. Anytime I want to do like some kind of art thing here and film it, I have to set up everything from scratch. Like, I don't have a permanent setup like I had at the old place. And so I'm like, I need to get stuff permanently set up so that it's just there ready to use when I need to use it. The only thing is though, I would want to steal one of these cameras for when I do my packaging streams. If I have the cables all neatly tucked away and fed, then I can't easily move it. So I'm not sure what I want to do about that. Like, if I just raise this up and zoom in, no, I don't think that's gonna see over the crap I have there. The camera has to be able to see over this stuff. So maybe this side camera will be less permanently attached and will have its cables more free so I can maneuver it about the room as needed. Yeah, you get some coffee, maybe some toast, I don't know. And I gotta get this cleared off. I got all kinds of tools and crap everywhere. So I've cleared off the desk and I'm ready to get started, but first I gotta give some Kiki pets, yes. That way she won't pester me while I'm actually working on the artwork. Oh, hello. I mean, I've already been going at this for like 10 minutes, but she needs more. Come on. You're a spoiled little baby. So, I wasn't a fan of the gouache on the acrylic. Some people suggested acrylic gouache, but I'm like, would I not end up with the same problem if I'm painting directly on it? I feel like painting the background after the fact is the only way to go about it. But also, I would hate doing that. Trying to get around like these little lines, no. I'm probably just going to try more gouache stuff on colored paper, and then I can water it down too more for the first coats, because everything I've been doing is very opaque, and it'd be nice to water it down more and just paint on colored paper. So I might have to get some. I do need to buy more art papers in general. I don't know what I'm doing with these 2 pages though, because I probably will only ever do acrylic on these, or oil, if I'm willing to let the sketchbook stay open to dry. But we're gonna skip those pages for now. I was gonna maybe do some kind of fully illustrated piece, but like I don't even know where I would begin with that, so I'm just gonna do some doodling. I'm kind of in the mood to use pencils. I might bring out my Copics as well, because sometimes it's nice to lay down a flat layer of marker and then go on top with pencil. Just helps fill in like the white of the paper. So yeah, I've got my usual, this is mostly Prismacolors in here, although there are a few other types like the Faber-Castell. And then I have my Jazza Spectrum Noir pencils, which I haven't used yet, so maybe can use those a bit too. Okay, markers are out too. I've got all my gear. Me fixing this even though I know I'm about to destroy it all. So I'm going to do 2 different illustrations in this video, and they're going to be separated into different parts of the vlog. So here's the first one. I was just suddenly in the mood to draw a little bird, and so I'm drawing a little sparrow and just playing around with colors, because you know they're brown, sure, but like let's use a whole bunch of different browns. Let's use some colors that are not brown. Let's make it a little more colorful, a little more interesting. It's so easy and relaxing to just keep layering up different pencil colors. You can just quickly grab them. It's not like paint where you have to mix it or anything, and so I could just play around and add a bunch of different colors and have fun with it. So that's the first one, and oh my god, it felt so nice having my top-down camera set up back. Like, okay, side view is better for certain things, like even something like this where I'm using pencil. It's easy for me to hold the pencil very vertically, and then my hand covers the illustration, or at least covers the part I'm working on. Or you can get glare when it's straight down like this, and so the darks don't look as dark, the colors just don't look as crisp and as nice compared to the side view. But top down is just classic, and like you just need it. And so I've been doing 3/4 view since I moved, because top down's been kind of, oh wait, maybe I did do one top down setup with my tripod. I might have. I really can't remember. I've been switching it up every time I film something, but it just feels so nice to have that camera just there, and I can just turn it on, and I can turn the light on, because lighting has also been a nightmare since I moved, and I'm like, ooh, finally some normalcy, and like so much easier to just hop in and film some artwork. I can even go back to having both cameras going at the same time and use the button on my Stream Deck to switch camera angles. You don't have that in this video because my HDMI cables are always on the fritz, and I have one working one right now. And I did order more, which actually were delivered the day I'm recording this audio. So I have my new HDMI cables, and hopefully they're long enough to feed along the wall all the way to the computer, because the longest I could get was 25 feet. And I'm like, is that longer than what I have? I don't know. I guess I could have measured them or like looked at my old receipt for those, but I got 2 new micro HDMI to HDMI cables. So the filming setup's coming back. Although right now my side view is just on a boom on the side of the table, and so it's kind of shaky. So, I mean, we'll see about that, but that's how it's mounted right now. Back in the day, I did have a small tripod that sat on the desk for my side view cam, and so I can always go back to that. I still have the tripod, but I do not want to go back to like a tripod on the ground for that view. No, it's either going to be boom or mini tripod on desk. Now about these Spectrum Noir pencils, they are not as pigmented as I thought they would be. I mean, I didn't expect them to be top of the line, but some of the colors are kind of hard to get them to go down. Like even that light cyan color, it's almost invisible. I had to go into my Prismacolors and grab some other ones to add on there, but I still use quite a few of them, like the oranges, reds, and browns. So yeah, they were still nice, and they glide very smoothly. So that's my little mini review on those, and we're getting the end to my little birdie doodle here. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually really like this one. I might even like it more than the second one. Maybe I'll talk a bit I'll talk a bit more about that after. Oh, and I did do like a little close-up where I angled it to get rid of glare and stuff, and then it turns out my cable was not really working right, and so it didn't record that. It just says no signal. So we lost the close-up. Okay, little birdie has been sitting over here. I'm going to do some more doodling, but I'm just taking a little break. I sprayed that with some fixative outside, and then it's been sitting in here to dry away from the geek. We just had a delivery. Very exciting. Because, you know, I've been all about buying decor for the house. I'm leaving the man loft area up to Christian to do what he wants with it. And he was looking at love seat recliners. And I'm so excited, I'm so excited. So we had a 3-piece sectional right here. It's now broken apart. It's there and there. Nothing shines quite as bright. Copyrighted music. But yeah, now we got this, and we haven't even reclined it yet because the delivery people said it was cold and to let it warm up. Little Simsy shoo. Okay, I knew this was on clearance, so we got a good deal, and I'm very excited. And yes, it's just gonna be so comfy, and we can be close to each other because before we had pretty much this whole table between us. Like, we were on the very opposite ends of the couch most of the time. And also my corner was sinking down all the time because I was trying to like this table's so wide, I was kind of squeezed at the little bit of space at the end of the table. And so the cushion's sinking down, and I was constantly trying to stuff it with pillows, and it's not nice for long-term sitting. It hurts my hips. Oh, and speaking of like sitting up here, I bought something to go up here. Maybe I should go build that right now. I'm just nervous it won't fit because the love seat does seem a little smaller in person compared to what I thought it was going to be. And I don't know how wide this thing is, but it's like a little laptop table for a bed or a couch. Because that way I can have my sketchbook propped up because it has a leaning tabletop. Because I do have a little table down there that I could pull up to the couch, but it was flat. And anytime I brought my sketchbook up there, it was so awkward and I wouldn't want to sketch up there. So I got this, and hopefully it's not too wide because the love seat's a little smaller than I thought it was gonna be. So let's see. Ooh, okay, this size is actually looking pretty good. It doesn't look too wide. We'll see once we have the splay of the legs. But first impression is that it's a good size. And I chose this color because Christian has a side table up there that is black and this brown color. Although what I'm currently using is my side table, does not match at all. I had no side table before, but I had that little table in front of me all the time. So you can adjust the height like so. Wait a minute. I thought I was gonna have to attach the legs. They're already attached. Oh yeah, there's a little drawer too. I forgot about that. Okay, this is with the legs short because they can go longer. See, I wouldn't want this like immediately in front of me, so I probably can only use it when the recliner is up, which is probably gonna be all the time anyway. Let's be real. See if this fits. The leg is sinking. Okay. It does go on your side a little bit more, sinks into the cracks. This is also with the legs in short configuration. It's basically just sitting on my legs. Although I like that height though, so I don't mind it being low.
You almost don't even need to fold out the legs.
I know,
just to make it secure.
I could probably just go like this. It would make it easier, to be honest. And I have another thing to show you. The Croc Mega Crush sandal. I've been seeing these all over online, but I feel like I came across them kind of late because all the videos I was seeing were older. And so they're sold out almost everywhere. But they were in stock at the boathouse. And so I got a black pair and a white pair. And then a week later, they were like, actually, we don't have black in stock. And I was like, no! I thought I was getting 2 pairs, and I just got 1. And I ordered a bunch of charms for both shoes. And now I only have the 1 pair. So I'm going to have all these extra charms. I mean, I was already going to have too many charms. But now I really am. But maybe they'll be back in stock before summer or something. I am going to have to use a hairdryer on the back strap, though, to shrink it, because this is a bit big. But other than that, it's good. I probably would not wear them with socks, but they're so comfy. Just this is a bit loose. Coffee number 2 acquired. I'm gonna head back down to do more doodling. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is gonna be a chicken. I was just in the mood to continue with the bird theme, I guess. I almost did a fish though, and I almost did a stellar J, but then I changed my mind and I drew a chicken. So it's just a brown hen. I don't know a breed. I googled many a chicken types and I just went with this brown one. And just like the sparrow, I added a bunch of colors into it to make it more colorful. You know, just make it interesting. And I have a lot of feather texture on this one, which was kind of driving me nuts. But I did it a little stylized, you know, just like with some diagonal scribbles. And then just started doing it in a whole bunch of different colors. And then I was like, okay, actually, this is not too bad. Now, this one does not have as much value contrast as the bird. So I feel like, or they're both birds, as the sparrow. So I think that's why I like the sparrow a bit more. Also, I feel like I may have overworked the chicken a little bit. I mean, it's still sketchy looking. I don't know if overworked is the right term, but if you compare it to the sparrow, it definitely looks like I worked it more. Like there's more burnished pencil and whatnot, whereas the sparrow was kept a little bit lighter and, you know, more of the whites of the paper left behind too. But that's also just because this brown chicken doesn't have a whole lot of white areas to it. But I still really like it, and I love the colors. I just think I like the sparrow a little bit more. But this was still really fun, and it was interesting doing the face and its little, like, dangly red things. Because I don't know if have I ever drawn a chicken? Have I ever drawn a chicken before? I don't know. I can't remember ever drawing a chicken, so this might be my first one. You know what? It might even be my first sparrow. I mean, I've drawn birds. Were they sparrows? I don't know. But, you know, just here you go. Chicken. When I first went to draw, I didn't know if I didn't know what I was going to be doing. At first, I was like, okay, maybe a sparrow. But then I'm like, well, where is this going to go? Like, is this going to evolve into me planning a full illustration piece? Or is it just going to be one-off drawings? And it ended up just being one-off drawings, but kind of completed drawings, you know? They're full color. So sometimes you never know where your sketching session is going to go. Can you even call these sketches? I don't know. They started out as sketches for sure, and the final texture is sketchy, but it's taken a little further than a typical sketch. Ooh, and one thing I did was I made sure to add extra color on the outlines. Like, for example, this kind of minty color, the red and yellow, I made sure there was a bit of all those colors along the outline of the chicken, not just within the chicken. And I think that's all I really have to say about this, to be honest. So I'm just going to leave you with a little bit of music for the final couple minutes of the chicken art. Okay, it's the next day, and I want to go through my notepad boxes. It's time to check them out. Hopefully, they're good. And I want to get through them all today, if possible. So that's going to be my main task. And then if I have time, I also want to go through my prints and just do inventory. I was doing inventory of the opalescent ones, but I haven't counted the Ducky ones. And opalescent, the 8x10s, had a lot of B grades, so I'm actually going to offer them up for sale discounted, so you can choose between your A or B grade. Those are the B grades over there. There are 65 or so B grades, which is a lot. So I'm going to offer them up. Usually if I have a handful of B grade prints, I just don't even put them up for sale, but for those I am going to. And those are the good ones. There's just a lot that have this line across the entire print, like a roller rolled across the print, but it's quite noticeable, so... Oh, glitter. Ooh, yeah. Oh, the direct sunlight's actually pretty good. I think it's like when it's cloudy out. Anything diffused light, the hollow doesn't really show up, but can we see the crease on camera? I'm struggling to show it on camera, honestly, but it's kind of minor, but in certain lighting conditions, you really notice it. Like when I was signing them, the angle I could see it at, it was just so noticeable. You can kind of see there, see that light splotch? Like where there's that highlight from the sun shining on her hair. That's when you can really see the crease. See that? So a lot of them have that. So honestly, it's still gonna look great under most lighting conditions, but when the sun catches it just right, you know, you're like, oh, there's a big crease. So I've got a hefty stack of those. And now let's look at these. My initial look at the planner pads, they looked great. I'm hoping there aren't too many crooked cut, because the notepads I was looking at, we had crooked cuts. The stack closest to me, these are all the planner pads. So I guess we're going through those first. I'm gonna grab them from the glued side. These look great, oh my god. They look fantastic. So I'm just gonna pull out the whole stack and then kind of just check each one. It's kind of like a dirty glue mark on the first one. Like, probably because it's stuck to the one behind it, and so you get a bit of dark floof. But that's the only thing I'm noticing initially here. Oh my god, we're gonna have so much cardboard. We still have that huge stack over here. Back there, that's a whole stack of flattened cardboard, and there's a bunch in the garage. And now we're gonna have all these boxes too. Okay. Probably don't need to look this hard, honestly, but at least for like the initial few boxes, I like to see. At least want to look through every few pads, make sure everything's good. Because again, if cuts are too crooked, I'm gonna make it a B grade. But these look fantastic so far. I've had a couple with like a little crease on the top page, but that's not really an issue. The top page is most prone to getting stuff on it, to like either a little smudge or a crease. Just look how cute. And it's my first one that's almost 8.5 by 11. I forget the exact dimensions. It's almost 10.5. And this way is 8. It's 8 by 10.4 or 10.3. Never mind. Wait, no. How do inches work, dude? The halfway mark is divided into quarters. Like, what the fuck? I guess I'd make it 10 and 1, 2, 3 eighths. 10 and 3/8. But yep, this is gonna be my life for the rest of today. Okay, there's the road map. And if I need more stacks, I can bring it out this way and then maybe save this spot for the notepads. Okay, before I move on to more big ones, I am going to open a box of small ones. This one I already opened. Or is this just not taped? Maybe just not taped. Here's an example of like, the border's not quite even, but it's acceptable. It's like an acceptable amount of deviation that I would not make that a B grade. Okay, I'm already feeling better. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. Woohoo! Okay. This box has really nice ones. Yeah. Hopefully they're mostly like this. See, oh, this one's getting a little more crooked. By the way, this level of crookedness would be deemed acceptable by a manufacturer. You're allowed 2 millimeters. But being off by 2 millimeters on something with a skinny border like this ends up being a lot, because if it's shifted by 2 millimeters, like let's say it was 10 total on each side, and it shifts by 2, you're now at 8 and 12, which is a difference of 4. It's like, oh, 2 millimeters doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. But it's considered allowable in printing, and so, yeah. They're so cute! I did get a comment about saying the Ducky should face each other. And that's how I initially did try putting them on here, but because they're kind of L-shaped, it blocks so much of the writing space if they're facing the other way, or I'd have to shift them over so their bodies are kind of half cut off on the border. And after playing around with it, I just thought that this looked the best and gave you the most writing space. Because I'm all about maximizing that writing space with these notepads. I want that balance between cuteness and functionality, you know? Because some people go like way overboard and you have this tiny little area you can write in. I personally prefer this. Some of them are a little more extreme than others. Like this one still has most of the beak, but this one it's half gone. Like this is a pretty extreme cut. Like look at that. Okay, final notebook tally. It was actually really good in the end. These are the B grades. These are the A grades. I have 7 big stacks, and then I have 2 slightly shorter stacks for the B grades. I mean, my Baylee J logo is really pale still on all of them, but I think that might just be my fault for the file prep. Oh yeah, there are also these A grades, which I forgot about. So we have a lot, and I actually had a really good A to B ratio, so I'm very excited about that. And there are the planner pads. Oh my god. Wait, I didn't actually get through them all yet. What is wrong with me? I just keep forgetting about notepads. They're just everywhere. Okay, fast forward 2 days. It's now Friday, and I need to get editing this. Usually I edit on Thursdays, and so I'm a little behind. But yesterday, our friend Alex was in town because he had a long layover, and so we went and picked him up at the airport, and he got to see the house, and we went out for food, and so it was nice seeing him. He's the first of our Vancouver friends to see the house, so exciting, and yeah. I'm ending it here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.